I've come to a conclusion where I believe that the reason why most people don't end up manifesting money wouldn't be because that they're bad at manifesting or because that they still haven't found the right manifestation technique. I believe that the reason why most people don't end up manifesting money, despite visualizing and seeing all the affirmations that they could ever come up with every single day, is because that they're not taking action to bring the money that they want into existence. Most people think that manifestation is just about changing your beliefs and changing your vibrational state, forgetting the fact that manifestation also requires taking action and building a vessel. Because without a vessel, then the energy of money has no place to go, so as a result, it can never materialize in physical form. Which is why in the Kabbalah, it talks about the importance of building a vessel, since the vessel is the thing that dictates your capacity to receive what you want. So think of it like a cup. If you're pouring water into a cup that's cracked or too small, then you don't get to experience the fullness of what you want. And you don't need to study Kabbalah to understand that concept. You can just take a look at a real life example. If I were to give you $100,000 right here, right now, but if you were the kind of person who has bad relationship with money, has bad history with money, and has no financial structure, then 12 times out of 10, I guarantee you will end up losing that money. And it wouldn't be because that the universe didn't give you more money that could sustain you for longer periods of time. It would be because that you didn't have the proper vessel to maintain it. And let's take lottery winners as an example. You know that every single person who wins the lottery ends up losing all his money? And it's not because they didn't win enough or that they are just unlucky. It's because that despite them receiving all the money that they desired all at once, they still didn't have the proper vessel to maintain it. So as a result, they always ended up back at square one, where either they get sued, or they end up homeless, or they just go back to working at their old job. But then if you take a look at people who build things brick by brick, put one foot in front of the other, build habits, create structures, and make routines, that helps shape their vessel in a way that they could always receive what they want and even more. Hence why everybody who has ever worked for anything always ends up winning more and more and more, because they earned what they want. They built a vessel that supports their manifestation to take place, their manifestation to come into existence. And that's exactly what I had to learn. I remember at the beginning of my journey, I tried to manifest money using just affirmations and positive thinking. I used to think that this would be the way that somehow I will magically change my life. However, as time went on, I never really got close to manifesting what I want, which at that time was $10,000 every single month. It even got to a point when I thought that this whole manifestation and law of attraction thing is nothing but a scam. However, one night I was scrolling on YouTube and I come across a podcast, and for some reason, my heart told me to click on it. I'm not the kind of guy who watches long videos, but this was the first time I ever clicked on a video and I stayed on for the entire thing. It was a podcast that was 1 hour and 30 minutes. I stayed on for the whole thing. And throughout the podcast, the guy always emphasized the fact that trying to manifest money and abundance without taking action is the biggest reason why most people never end up manifesting any kind of money into their life. And hearing that for the first time was kind of mind-boggling, because I've lived most of my life following manifestation from the point of view of, I don't chase, I attract. Everything comes to me effortlessly. I don't need to lift a finger. I don't need to do anything. I just need to chill, sit down, meditate, embody, and feel as if my manifestation has already taken place. And then somehow, some way, the universe will just magically bring me what I want. I used to live by that belief. And hearing that concept of action being necessary was very new to me. And I told myself, well, perhaps maybe taking action is the missing key. So I decided to construct a plan where I will take action and build something, build a vessel to start manifesting money. I remember during that time, I told myself I'm gonna use what's called the Ikigai concept to come up with my ideal vessel. And essentially what the Ikigai concept means is that you take a look at what you're good at, what you can offer to the world, what you love doing, and what you can get paid for. And essentially when you list everything down, you will see that one sweet spot in the middle where it's like, oh, I can offer this to the world, and since I'm good at it and I love doing it, I can get paid for it. And during that time, I remember that I was the kind of guy who loved meditating and doing breathworks all the time, because I was the kind of guy who went through anxiety and stress. So that was the kind of thing that I loved doing, which is meditating and doing breathworks. And one good thing that I was good at all the time was giving advice. I remember my friends and family would come up to me and they would ask me for advice. Ideally, any advice that had to do with spirituality or mental health, and I'll be very stoked to give them that kind of advice that they're looking for. So I took that storyline of my life and I decided to build a vessel around it. I told myself, I was like, you know what, since I'm good at giving advice and I love meditating and doing breathworks, and I was able to solve a big problem that many people go through, which is anxiety and stress, why not go out there, use that as a vessel so I can get paid for it? On December 4th, 2023, I decided to take action, and 30 days later, I manifested $11,500. So if there's one thing you should understand is that to manifest money, you need to build a vessel. And to build a vessel, you can just ask yourself those 3 simple questions. 1, what kind of problems have I been able to solve in my life, and lay out the biggest problems that were your biggest bottlenecks that you've been able to solve. Then ask yourself the second question, which is, who are the kind of people who I can resonate with most? Are they mothers, fathers, single mothers? Are they 9-to-5 workers, high achievers, entrepreneurs? Are they creative workers? Who are they? Who's the kind of person that you can resonate with most, that it honestly feels like when you talk to them, it doesn't feel like you're talking to a different person, you're talking to yourself. And then when you figure that out, ask yourself the third question, which is, how much could I possibly get paid if I help that person solve the exact same problem that I was able to solve for myself? You figure out those 3 questions, and you'll be on your way to using that as a vessel to manifest money through it. Because at the end of the day, the manifestation process works in 3 phases. The first phase is energetically. So the idea, the desire comes up in your heart and mind. Okay, that's on the energy level. So that's the first phase. Then you move on to the second phase, which is the mental phase, making sure you embody that state of success and abundance as if your manifestation has already came into existence. That's where most people get stuck. They go to the mental phase and then they just stop over there. But if they actually want to see all that mental and energy work come into action and actually materialize, then they need to move on to the third phase, which is making sure that they take action by building a vessel that supports their manifestation to finally come into existence. And the best way you can do that is by doing your own thing and building a business just the way I did it. It doesn't matter how much money you want to manifest. It could be a small amount, it could be a big amount. Build a vessel that supports it. Tell yourself, who is the kind of person that I resonate with? What kind of problem have I been able to solve? How much could I get paid if I help that person solve the exact same problem that I went through? Do that and put yourself out there, and you will see money follow like never before, because that's how I have done it since December of 2023. And I had my best month because of it, which was in July last year when I did $26,000. And the only reason why I was able to get there was because I finally built a vessel that supports my manifestation. Now, I understand that everything that I just mentioned could be a little bit too complicating to understand and overwhelming to implement, which is why I would love to just simply invite you to book a call with me down below, because I would love to see if I can help you not just change your self-concept and help you let go of your old limiting beliefs and help you program your mind with new beliefs that supports the identity of abundance and success, but I also want to help you build the exact same vessel. I want to take you by the hands and help you build the vessel that I have used to put my brother in school, to support my mother, and to help ease off my father's legal troubles. Because the last thing I want for you is for you to just go around thinking that manifestation and the law of attraction is about meditating, imagining, feeling, and then waiting. That's not how it works. You need to put action into place, and I want to help you put that action into place. But again, if you don't want to work with me, that is completely fine. You can just always go back to my old videos where I know you will find a lot of things to benefit from. And in return, all I ask from you is to just leave a sub, leave a like, comment down below anything you have in your mind that you want me to address, and I'm more than happy to address all your questions. Because at the end of the day, I only grow when I help other people grow.